The Galactic Concordance gathered in the Great Chamber high above Vixara Prime. Ships from every corner of known space docked at the shining rings. Species of all kinds filled the seats. Tall crystal beings from Vorath stood next to short-furred traders from the rim worlds. Floating gas clouds from the nebula zones drifted near heavy armored warriors from the iron planets. Light danced on every surface. The air hummed with many languages, turned into one clear speech by the translation fields. At the center sat the High Arbiter. His many tentacles moved slow and calm. His eyes glowed soft purple. He had lived longer than most stars in the charts. Today the topic was humanity, the new species from the small yellow star system called Sol. They had learned to bend space only a short time ago. They spread fast. They built colonies on worlds others claimed. They kept weapons that punched holes through ships with solid metal slugs. They changed planets too much too quick. Many in the council said these things made humans dangerous. Ambassador Kael'thir of the Vorath rose first. His body sparkled like broken glass under bright lights. He spoke in a voice that rang like bells. He showed pictures and data on the huge screens around the chamber. Look at their history, he said. They fought wars that burned their own world almost to ash. They made bombs that split atoms. They sent machines to other planets and left trash behind. They hunt animals until none remain. They cut forests and poison seas. Now they come here. They take mining rights in sectors we marked long ago. They refuse to give up their kinetic cannons. They dig up old machines from the time before even we flew among stars. Those machines belong to the precursors. No one may touch them. Humans ignore this rule. They study the relics. They copy the designs. They grow strong too fast. If we let them continue, the whole galaxy will suffer. They are a fire that spreads without control. We must stop them now. Many heads nodded. Colors flashed in agreement among the crowd. Voices rose in support. The gas beings pulsed bright red. The armored ones banged fists on tables. Even the quiet plant folk swayed their leaves in worry. Next came the human delegation. 5 people walked to the center platform. They wore plain gray suits. No bright colors. No shining metals. Their faces showed no fear. The leader was a woman named Mara Voss. She had short dark hair and steady eyes. She looked at the High Arbiter without blinking. She spoke clear and slow. "We came here to join you," she said. "We followed your rules as best we could. We asked for maps. We asked for trade. We asked to learn. You gave us little. You watched us from far away. You judged us before we spoke. Yes, we use old weapons. They are simple and they work. We do not trust fancy energy beams that fail in dust or rain. Yes, we change worlds. We make air that people can breathe. We grow food so no one starves. We build homes for billions. We do not destroy for fun. We fix what we break when we can." About the precursor relics. "We found them in our own system. They waited in the cold dark beyond our planets. No one else came to claim them. We studied them to understand. We used what we learned to survive. We did not steal. We did not sell. We kept them safe. If you fear us, then talk to us. Do not sentence us in silence." The chamber stayed quiet for a long moment. Then voices broke out again. Louder this time. "They mock us," someone shouted. "They admit their crimes," another cried. "They think rules do not apply to them." Kael'thir raised one shining arm. "Enough," he said. "We have proof. We have records from probes we sent near their worlds. We have words from species they pushed aside. We have scans of forbidden tech in their ships. Humanity broke the ancient accords. They threaten the peace we built over ages. There is only one path. Quarantine. Lock their system. Let no ship leave or enter. Let them stay in their small corner. Let the galaxy heal without them. The High Arbiter listened to all sides. He turned his many eyes across the room. He weighed each word. After 3 full cycles of talk, the time came. He rose slow. His tentacles spread wide. The chamber lights dimmed. All sound stopped. He spoke in a deep rumble that shook the floor. The Galactic Concordance has heard the voices. It has seen the evidence. Humanity came late to the stars. Yet it moved with speed no other showed. It grew. It spread. It changed what it touched. Some changes bring life. Some bring harm. The Council finds patterns of harm. It finds refusal to follow shared law. It finds danger that grows each day. Therefore the judgment falls. Humanity stands guilty. The sentence is set. The Sol system will close. No vessel may cross the outer edge. Any that try will face destruction. No trade will flow. No messages will pass. No contact will happen again. The quarantine begins now. The galaxy will continue without this threat. So the Concordance decrees. A wave of sound rolled through the seats. Cheers rose from many throats. Lights flashed in joy. Colors bloomed bright. The gas beings swirled fast. The armored ones roared. Only the human 5 stood still. They did not shout. They did not beg. Mara Voss looked up at the High Arbiter. Her face stayed calm. A small smile touched her lips. It was cold and sure. Guards in silver armor came forward. They led the humans to the exit. The great doors opened. The delegates walked through. The doors closed with a heavy boom. No one saw the smile fade from Mara's face. No one saw her whisper one word to her team as they left. Soon, outside the chamber ships waited. The human transport lifted away from Vexara Prime. It moved slow at first. Then it jumped to the fast lanes toward home. Inside the ship the 5 sat quiet. Mara looked out at the stars. We gave them truth, she said. They chose fear. Now they will learn what fear really means. The others nodded once. No more words came. The ship flew on. Behind them the celebration continued. The council drank rare liquids. They sang old songs of victory. They spoke of a cleaner galaxy. They spoke of peace at last. None of them noticed the tiny signal that slipped from the human ship just before it jumped. A single pulse. Short and hidden. It carried no words. Only numbers. A code sent to Earth. A message that said one thing. They judged us guilty. We accept the verdict. But we choose how to serve the sentence. The stars watched in silence. The galaxy turned on. And somewhere in the dark, a quiet plan woke up. It stretched its arms. It opened its eyes. It smiled the same cold smile Mara wore. The trial was over. The real test had just begun. 7 standard years passed since the verdict. Trade ships flowed smoother through old lanes. New colonies bloomed on worlds once marked for slow growth. The Voreth built taller crystal spires on their homeworld. The Elder Conquered shared more secrets with trusted allies. Peace seemed stronger than before. No human voices broke the quiet. No human ships crossed the line. Quarantine drones circled the Sol system, edged like patient hunters. They scanned every speck of dust. They fired clean beams at anything. NG that moved too close. Reports came back steady and dull. No launches from Mars. No signals from Earth. No probes sneaking out from Jupiter's shadows. Some council members said humans had given up. They turned inward. They fought among themselves again. They starved in their closed cave. Others said the species simply died out. No lights on their cities. No heat blooms from factories. Scouts sent tiny listening pods. The pods found silence. Dark planets. Cold engines. Empty orbits. The council held small meetings to mark the victory. They raised glasses of glowing liquid. They spoke of lessons learned. Never trust a young species. Never let them grow unchecked. Never show mercy to threats. Kael'thir of the Vorath stood often at these events, his shine brighter than ever. He told stories of the trial. He showed old recordings. He warned others to stay sharp. The High Arbiter watched from his high seat. His tentacles moved less now. His purple eyes dimmed a little. He said little, but he listened. Always listened. Inside the Sol system, the truth hid well. Earth turned busy in ways no outsider could see. The verdict woke something deep. Old borders vanished in one night. Leaders from every nation sat at one table. They spoke plain words. No more games. No more waiting. We survive or we end. They formed the Terran Defense Initiative. One command. One goal. Every factory switched to war mode. Every shipyard built new hulls. Every scientist shared every secret. Schools taught children the old stories. Stories of ice ages survived. Stories of plagues beaten. Stories of wars won against odds. People listened. They worked harder. They slept less. They smiled less. But they built. Deep under Antarctic ice, old bases grew bigger. Tunnels stretched for miles. Lights burned day and night. Teams of experts lived there for years. They pulled apart precursor relics. Small black boxes found in the Uit cloud. Strange stones buried on the moon. Metal rings drifting past Plu. These things did not shoot. They did not explode. They waited. They whispered when touched right. Humans learned the whispers. First they understood power flow. Then control codes. Then purpose. The relics formed a map. Not of stars, but of connections. A web across the galaxy. Left by the ancients who vanished long ago. The web could bend gravity. Shift time in small pockets. Lock jump drives. Open or close paths between systems. It could watch. It could judge. It could punish. The council knew of the web once. They called it the lattice. They sealed most keys away. They feared its power. They forgot where some keys went. One cluster waited in Sol. Hidden in plain dark. Humans found it. Humans woke it slow. Careful. Quiet. No big flashes. No loud tests. Just small pulses. Small changes. A drone here. A probe there. The quarantine drones began to feel strain. One day a drone reported bad data. Then another. Then 10. The council text said it was wear and tear. They sent replacements. The new ones failed too. Slow at first. Then faster. No explosions. No attacks. Just quiet shutdowns. Screens went black. Voices went silent. The council sent scouts. Small ships with strong shields. They jumped close to the barrier. They scanned deep. They found nothing. No debris. No human ships. Just empty space. And colder silence. Inside Sol the work went on. Mara Voss led the quiet team now. She walked the deep halls. She checked every step. She spoke to engineers in low voices. How close, she asked. Close, they answered. Weeks maybe. Days if we push. She nodded. Push, she said. But stay hidden. Let them think we sleep. Above the ice, the surface cities changed too. Tall towers rose fast, made from new alloys born in the relics. Ships waited in hidden docks. Not many, but perfect. Each one carried a piece of the lattice key. Each one knew its path. People trained in simulators. They learned to speak to the web. They learned to listen. They learned to command. Children played games that taught patterns. Adults ran drills that felt like games. Everyone knew the stakes. No one complained. 7 years built a new Earth. Not broken. Not angry. Focused. Ready. On the 10th year anniversary, the first real move happened. A single human scout slipped past the drones. It moved like a shadow. No drive flare. No signal leak. It used the lattice to bend light around itself. It flew toward the core. Toward Vixara Prime. It carried no weapons. Just a message. A simple frame of data. It reached the edge of Council space. It broadcast once. Short and clear. This is Earth. You judged us. You sentenced us. You forgot one thing. We do not bow to your court. The message attached one image. The empty human seat in the great chamber. Now filled with a black flag. Plain. Matte. No words. Just the shape of Earth traced in thin white lines. The broadcast ended. The scout vanished again. Council alarms rang loud. Voices shouted. How did it pass? Who sent it? Where did it go? Kael'thir stared at the flag on the screen. His shine flickered. For the first time in ages, fear touched his core. The High Arbiter sat still. His tentacles curled tight. He spoke one word. Prepare. The galaxy felt the shift. Small at first. Like wind before storm. But the storm gathered. Inside Sol factories roared louder. Ships powered up. Keys turned in ancient locks. The lattice listened. It answered. Humanity did not beg. It did not threaten. It simply woke up. And the silence broke forever. The 10th anniversary of the verdict came quiet at first. No big announcements from Earth. No fleets roaring out of Sol. Just one small change that spread like fire in dry grass. The quarantine drones started failing faster. Not one or two. Hundreds at once. Their lights blinked out in perfect order. From the outer rim inward. Council techs stared at blank screens. They ran diagnostics. They found no damage. No blasts. No sabotage traces. Just code that twisted itself. Like it had been rewritten from inside. Panic whispers started in the lower halls of Vixara Prime. Then the sensor ghosts appeared. Faint blips on deep scans. Human ship signatures. Small and fast. They did not head out to new worlds. They turned toward the heart of Council space. Toward the rich core systems. Toward the Vorath crystal cities. Toward the Elder-conquered vaults. Toward every place the Council felt safe. Scouts jumped to intercept. They found empty space. The ghosts vanished before weapons locked. More ghosts came. Dozens. Then hundreds. They danced just beyond reach. They left no trails. They broke no laws yet. But they watched. They waited. The Council called an emergency session. The great chamber filled again. Seats once calm now shook with nervous talk. Kael'thir stood tall. His shine looked duller now. We must act, he said. This is defiance. This is invasion without ships. Send the Harmonizer fleet. Crush the insolence at its source. The High Arbiter listened. His tentacles stayed tight. He spoke slow. We will send the fleet. But we will watch first. We will learn what they plan. Probes launched toward Sol. Fast probes. Armed probes. They crossed the line. They sent back pictures of quiet orbits. Empty shipyards on the surface. Dark rings around gas giants. No fleets waiting. No armies marching. Just one thing. A single black flag on every major world. Hanging from towers. Painted on domes. Carved into moons. The same flag from the message. Thin white lines tracing Earth. The probes went silent one by one. No explosions. Just cut feeds. The council waited. Then the broadcast came. It hit every frequency at the same moment. Clear and strong. No static. No trace of origin. This is Earth. You judged us. You sentenced us. You thought we would fade. You were wrong. We do not recognize your court. We do not accept your chains. We return your verdict to you. Attached was new data. One clear frame. The human seat in the great chamber. No longer empty. A simple black flag rested there. Folded neat. Waiting. The chamber erupted. Voices screamed over each other. Lights flashed wild. Colors swirled in fear. Kael'thir slammed his arm on the table. They mock us, he shouted. They sit in our house without coming. They claim what is not theirs. The High Arbiter raised one tentacle. Silence fell slow. He spoke. They have crossed the line. They have challenged the concordance. We will end this now. The Harmonizer fleet receives the order. Jump to Sol. Destroy all resistance. Bring back proof of compliance. Or bring back nothing. Cheers rose again. But thinner this time. Less sure. The fleet gathered. Thousands of ships. From every council world. Vorath lancers with crystal edges. Elder-conquered guardians with time-bend shields. Gas cloud carriers that swallowed stars. Armored hulls from iron planets. They formed ranks. They powered jump drives. They vanished in bright flashes. They aimed straight for the Sol barrier. Inside Sol the work never stopped. Mara Voss stood in the deep command hall under Antarctica. Screens covered every wall. People moved fast and quiet. Reports came in soft voices. Fleet inbound. ETA 3 hours. Numbers confirmed. She nodded. Activate Phase 1. Engineers touched panels. Deep in space the lattice stirred. Old connections lit up. Threads long dark now glowed faint blue. Gravity wells tightened in careful patterns. Jump points folded just enough. Time stretched in small bubbles. The Harmonizer fleet emerged near the outer edge. Right where the drones once patrolled. Every captain expected fight. They found none. No human ships rushed out. No beams lit the dark. Just sudden stillness. Engines coughed and died. Weapons froze mid-char. Shields flickered then dropped. Life support counted down slow. Alarms screamed inside every bridge. Captains shouted orders. Techs pounded controls. Nothing answered. Across the galaxy, the same thing happened. Every ship that carried Council colors stopped. Orbital stations drifted powerless. Planetary guns locked open. Jump gates refused entry. The lattice had judged. Not with fire. Not with bombs. With rules. Old rules. The ancients wrote them long ago. Do not sentence without trial. Do not lock without key. Do not threaten what you cannot control. The Council broke those rules. The lattice remembered. It enforced. On Vixara Prime the chamber lights dimmed. Screens showed frozen fleets. Billions watched feeds from homeworlds. Gas beings pulsed slow in terror. Armored warriors stood silent. Voreth crystals cracked small lines in fear. Kael'thir stared at the black flag, still folded on the empty seat. His voice broke. "What do they want?" The High Arbiter spoke quiet. "They want what we gave them. Judgment." A message arrived then. No broadcast this time. Just words on every screen. Calm and final. "You sentenced us to isolation. We return the sentence. Your fleets stay where they are. Your worlds stay alone. Your council stays silent. Until you learn. No terms. No deals. Just consequence." The message ended. The flag on the seat unfolded slow. It hung there, plain and black, with the white outline of Earth. The galaxy felt small for the first time. Stars looked far away. Power looked thin. Humanity had not conquered. It had waited. It had prepared. It had remembered. And now it delivered. The sentence was no longer theirs. It belonged to Earth. And Earth kept it close. The frozen fleets hung in the black like dead stars. Thousands of ships from every council world sat still. Engines cold. Weapons dark. Shields gone. Crews stared at blank controls. They tried restarts. They tried overrides. Nothing worked. Panic filled the bridges. Voices shouted in many tongues. Captains ordered scans. Scans showed nothing. No attackers. No energy spikes. Just space stretched wrong. Gravity pulled in tight knots. Jump drives refused to spin up. Time felt slow in some places. Fast in others. The lattice held them gentle but firm. No pain. No death. Just waiting. On Vixara Prime, the great chamber turned into chaos. Screens showed the same picture everywhere. Frozen armadas. Drifting stations. Silent defense grids. The gas being swirled in tight spirals. Their colors faded to gray. The armored warriors banged fists until metal bent. They roared, but no one listened. Kael'thir stood frozen. His crystal body cracked in thin lines. Light leaked from the brakes. He whispered, "Hell." The High Arbiter sat high. His tentacles limp. His purple eyes dull. He knew the old stories. He remembered the lattice warnings. The ancients built it to keep order. To stop tyrants. To punish those who judged without truth. The council forgot. They used power without care. Now power turned back. A new message appeared on every screen. Clear letters in every language. No voice. Just words. You built your sentence on fear. We build ours on fact. Your fleets stay locked. Your world stays separate. Your council stays empty. Until you understand. No destruction comes. Only reflection. Look at what you did. Look at what you became. The message stayed. It repeated slow. Crew on the ships read it. They looked at each other. Some cried. Some prayed to old gods. Some just sat quiet. On Earth, Maravas watched from the deep hall. Screens showed the same feeds. People around her worked calm. They adjusted threads in the lattice. They moved small nodes. They kept the hold steady. No cruelty. Just balance. Myra spoke soft. Phase 2 complete. Now Phase 3. An engineer nodded. He touched a panel. Across the galaxy, small changes happened. Stations that floated free now drifted toward safe orbits. Planets felt gravity settle normal. Life support on ships returned full power. But drives stayed dead. Weapons stayed locked. The lattice allowed breath. It denied flight. It gave time. Time to think. Time to talk. Time to face the mirror. On Voreth homeworld the crystal spires dimmed. Citizens gathered in public halls. They watched the news feeds. They saw their proud fleet trapped. They saw the black flag in their own council seat. Whispers spread. We pushed too far. We judged too quick. We feared what we did not know. On the elder-conquered world, the ancient ones gathered in stone circles. They spoke in low voices. They remembered the lattice. They taught young ones the old rules. They admitted fault. We sealed the keys. We hid the truth. We let fear rule. Now truth rules us. Days passed. Weeks passed. The council tried messages. They sent pleas on open channels. They offered talks. They offered terms. No answer came. Only silence. Then one day a sea. Angly human ship appeared. It jumped clean through the old barrier. It moved slow. No weapons hot. No shields thick. Just one small craft. It approached Vixara Prime. It docked at the outer ring. No guard stopped it. The lattice allowed passage. 5 humans stepped out. Same gray suits. Same calm faces. Myra Voss led them. They walked the long halls. They passed silent guards. They entered the great chamber. The seats sat empty now. Most council members stayed home. Too afraid. Too ashamed. Only a few remained. The High Arbiter waited at the center. His tentacles hung low. Kael'thir stood beside him. Cracks in his body sealed with thin light. Myra stopped at the platform. She looked up. She spoke clear. You declared us guilty. You closed our home. You sent your fleet to end us. We did not end you. We stopped you. We showed you the same K. Now you feel the bars. Now you know the quiet. The High Arbiter spoke weak. What do you want? Mara smiled small. Nothing. You already gave us what we needed. Your judgment. Your sentence. Your proof that power blinds. We return it. Not to hurt. To teach. Your ships will wake when your hearts chain. Your stars will open when your laws become fair. Your council will sit again when you earn the seat. Until then, wait, learn, grow. She turned. Her team followed. They walked out. No rush. No fear. The doors closed soft. The chamber stayed quiet. Kael'thir looked at the black flag still folded on the human seat. He reached out. He touched it gentle. It felt warm. Like living cloth. He pulled his hand back. The High Arbiter watched. He sighed deep. The galaxy waited. Locked but alive. Humbled but breathing. Humanity did not conquer with fire. It conquered with patience. With memory. With the same cold justice once turned on them. The sentence delivered. Not in blood. In truth. And the stars watched silent. As the old order cracked. As the new one waited. Quiet. Sure. Final. Years passed in the galaxy after the sentence fell. The lattice kept its hold gentle but unbreakable. Ships stayed in place across countless systems. Stations floated quiet. Worlds turned alone. No jumps between stars. No fleets to command. No council to gather. Species lived in their own corners. They farmed their fields. They raised their young. They told stories around fires or glowing orbs. Stories of the old days when ships flew free. Stories of the humans who waited in silence. Stories of the judgment that came back. Some species grew angry at first. They cursed the black flag. They blamed Earth for their chains. But anger faded with time. Hunger for connection grew instead. They looked at their skis. They saw empty space. They felt small. On Voreth, the crystal cities lost some shine. People walked slower. They spoke softer. They repaired cracks in their bodies with care. They studied old laws again. They asked what fairness really meant. On the elder-conquered worlds, the ancients taught lessons. They gathered children under stone arches. They explained the lattice. They admitted the mistake. We feared chain. We rushed to punish. We forgot mercy. Now we learn patience. The young listened. They nodded slow. They drew pictures of open stars. They dreamed of flight. On iron planets, warriors trained less for war. They built bridges instead. They traded stories with neighbors. They laughed more. They fought less. Across the galaxy, the same change spread quiet. No big speeches. No sudden peace treaties. Just daily life without the old power. People found new ways. Small ships with slow engines. Messages sent by light beams. Trade by slow cargo haulers. It took longer. It cost more. But it worked. And it felt honest. Inside Saul, the work never stopped. Earth grew brighter. Cities rose tall and clean. Arcologies covered old scars. Gardens bloomed on every roof. Dyson swarms gathered light around the sun. Ships moved smooth through the lattice. They visited hidden outposts. They mapped new paths. They learned more secrets. Humanity did not rush to conquer. It built slow and sure. It welcomed those who came in peace. It turned away those who came with demands. Myra Voss grew older. Her hair turned gray. Her eyes stayed sharp. She walked the halls under ice less now. She spent time on the surface. She watched children play. She taught classes in quiet rooms. She spoke of the verdict. She spoke of the wait. She spoke of the return. One day a small delegation arrived at Earth. Ships from many worlds. Slow ships. No weapons showing. They carried diplomats. Voreth with sealed cracks. Elder beings with careful steps. Gas clouds in gentle swirls. Armored ones with lowered heads. They asked for landing. Earth allowed it. They met on neutral ground. A wide plain under open sky. No walls. No guards. Just a table and chairs. Mara sat at one end. She looked at them calm. The High Arbiter spoke first. His voice weak but clear. We come not to fight. We come to ask. Do you still find us guilty? Mara looked at each face. She saw shame. She saw hope. She saw chain. She spoke slow. We never judged your souls. We judged your actions. You closed our home. You sent death to our door. You called us cancer. We showed you the mirror. Now you see yourselves. Now you choose. The High Arbiter bowed low. We choose open stars. We choose fair laws. We choose to learn from you. Others nodded. Colors flashed soft agreement. Voices murmured yes. Mara stood. She walked around the table. She placed a small black flag on the center. Thin white lines tracing Earth. She spoke again. Then come home. Take your seat. But remember, the lattice watches. It remembers. It judges still. Use power with care. Or feel the cage again. The delegation took the flag gentle. They carried it back. They placed it in the great chamber. The seat filled once more. The council gathered slow. Not all came. Some stayed away in shame. But those who came spoke different. They made new rules. They shared maps. They opened lanes. They invited humans to sit equal. Not above. Not below. just equal. Human ships flew free again. They traded ideas. They shared tech. They helped worlds heal old wounds. They did not rule. They guided when asked. The galaxy grew again. Bigger than before. Kinder than before. Stronger because it learned. On quiet nights, Mara stood on a hill. She looked at the stars. She smiled small. Humanity did not conquer the stars. It inherited them. Through patience. Through memory. Through the simple truth that no one sentences a human without facing the sentence themselves. The black flag flew high on Earth, not as a threat, as a reminder. The sentence was final, but the lesson lasted forever, and the stars shone bright for all who earned their light.